Have you tried using my stretch and release technique and it's not quite giving you the results that you were hoping for? Today, I'm going to show you the 3 biggest mistakes that people make in trying to do this and how you can resolve that so that you can get the best results possible. Hey, I have one quick favor to ask of you. I've noticed on my YouTube channel that 90% of you are watching my videos but have not subscribed yet. Please do me a favor and please hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing, and if you ring the bell, you'll be notified when I have new videos coming out each week. I'm really glad that you love my videos and are watching, but please do me a big favor and click that subscribe button. It's just below this video and it's in a box that says subscribe. Just click on that and that'll help me a lot to bring you better and better videos. I thank you for watching my videos. Welcome to the Muscle Repair Shop. In my practice here in my office, usually a new client will come in and spend 3 1-hour visits with me over the course of 3 weeks. And in that period of time, I will show them and give them videos to follow to do their stretches. And then each time they come back, I will have them to show me the stretches they have been doing to make sure they're doing them the right way. So for some of you who are now working online where you're watching these videos and you're trying to do it at home, I've learned this past week that there's some things may get lost in translation, and I want to try to clear those up today so that hopefully you can get the most out of the stretch and release technique. So one of my clients who I've been working with on Zoom for quite a while, in fact more than a year now, came into town and I got a chance to work with him, and I started to see 3 things he was doing that was holding him back from getting the optimal results that he was hoping for. So what I want to talk about today is how to correct those 3 things. Identify what they are, how to correct those 3 things so that you now can get optimal results from the stretch and release technique. So let's get started with it. Number 1, breathing. The proper way of breathing when doing the stretch and release technique. You see, because the muscles are very emotional, the breath itself allows the body to relax, and it also allows the mind to relax. Now, when I was talking to this client about breathing, he was thinking that he had to, if he was stretching his wrist, for instance, he had to breathe out as he was pulling out, but then at the end, then he would hold it for another 5 seconds, and he was wondering how on earth could he continue to breathe out with that. So what I showed him with that, and we'll do it with this stretch here because it's much easier, is that whenever he's doing that stretch, what you want to do there is inhale through your nose before you start, breathe out slowly, and then breathe through the stretch as you come down, and then I hold it for about another 2 seconds after that, and then release it. So it look a little something like this. And you release it. And the reason for doing that is that it relaxes the body and it allows the muscles here to relax so that they can slowly let go without the fear of being in any pain causing you to contract those muscles to stop it. So the breathing then becomes very important in this part of the stretching. The breathing also relaxes the mind because as you stop thinking about all the things that are all around you, that breathing then just allows you to take in oxygen and breathe it right back out, allowing your body and your mind to be a little quieter. Number 2, the pressure. The pressure for so many people is we're so used to, I'm going to pull as hard as I can because I want to force these muscles up here to release and let go. That's a huge mistake because what happens is that as you push harder and harder and really trying to force this and trying to get these muscles to let go, the brain is thinking that there could be an injury here. And when the brain is afraid of an injury that could possibly happen or this could really hurt bad, then all of a sudden the brain will contract the muscle preparing for the pain, what they would call anticipation of pain. And so what we want to do here is that as you're stretching and breathing out, what we want is to allow the muscle to just release. Now, you may not be able to go all the way to the full range in the beginning. Don't worry about that. When I'm doing the stretching, and again, in this case here, it's much easier for you to see. when I'm doing the stretching, as I start to come down, what I feel for when I work on somebody else's body is if they get here and there's tension there already, I stop right there. Because I want them to realize, A, there's trust in me that I'm not going to try to push it forward to make this thing happen. And B, I'm going to allow them to just sit with it for a couple of seconds so the brain can see that this was safe and then return back to normal. So when you're doing it to yourself, even though you're not working with a trust issue with me, when you're doing it to yourself, you're working with a trust issue with you. And so if you come here and you really crank down on this, trying to make this work much more, then what's going to happen is your brain is going to become afraid of you. So what we want is as you come down and just focus on the movement. And if you only feel the tension starting right here, I don't even care if it's even this much. Get to that point, and as you're breathing out, stay there for about 2 to 3 seconds. Allow the brain to see that you didn't tear anything, you didn't hurt yourself with this, and then after that, let it go. So it looks something like this if this is really stiff. And then you release it and you let it go. And what you'll find is that as you do that, in other words, as that tension starts right there, what you're going to find is that the brain will go, oh yeah, we've done this before. This was safe, so it's not even going to react to that movement, and then you can come a little farther. And over a short period of time, you'll get to the point that the brain will just release and allow the muscles to let go. The third thing that I saw, he was overthinking. So what happens is that we want things to be complicated, or it seems that way anyway. And I see this even with clients that I get coming to my office here, is that they're trying to overthink it, making this real complicated. And the truth of the matter is, this is very simple stuff. But the mind and the body has to be relaxed. And I know there's a lot of people who deal with ADHD, ADD, their minds just seem to, the thoughts just seem to run 100 miles a minute. And then you're trying to figure out, okay, so what in all is happening? Do I need to know everything going on in my arm to know what's happening here? Well, no, you don't. What you really need here is that you just want to quiet your mind, and the breathing is going to help with that. Quiet the mind and just focus on the feeling up into here in your arm, so that in this particular stretch here. And as you're doing this stretch, just focus on what you feel in your arm from your wrist up to your elbow there. And as you do that and you start to extend this back down, you'll get used to feeling the tension there. And then that will cause you to let go. But if you're thinking about what you had to do an hour ago or an hour from now, your mind is racing, this all becomes tense. Remember what I've said 100 times before, your muscles are just as emotional as they are physical. So if you're worried about what you got to do coming up in the afternoon, or you're thinking about how busy you are, or you're worried about something worse than what it actually is, all of a sudden the muscles tighten and now you can't get the movement that you want. And what I want to do here is improve that movement here. So that third step is really learning to not overthink it and just allow the muscles to let go. Because if you're thinking too much about what is happening, your brain is working hard, that's going to cause your muscles to tense up. So those are the 3 things that I see in the stretching part of it. On the self-massage side of it, what I see there is that too many times we're trying to dig in because we're so used to just, I want to manhandle my muscles. And it seems like that when everybody's teaching you about muscles, you're going to make those muscles do what you want them to do. Fact of the matter is that what you're doing is you're fighting with your own brain. And since they don't understand how emotional your muscles are, they don't get the concept that you're fighting with your brain. So if I press here and it hurts, like, you know what, the chances of me wanting to do that again is not very high, right? So the thing is that when you're pressing here, and you can do it to your leg, foot, or anything, but when you're pressing here on a muscle, all you want to do is press just enough you start to feel the pain, but you can still breathe. And you're just going to hold it there. You're not going to increase it the pressure's not going to make your muscles let go. In fact, the more you increase the pressure, the worse it's going to get. The second thing I see people do is that they remember going to a massage therapist and they want to try to just rub their arm like that. Nothing wrong with it. In massage, it's about relaxation. It's about allowing the body to relax. The mistake is, since we don't fully understand how the brain works with the muscles in an emotional fashion, if the person laying on this table here is tense, you could rub them all day long and they might feel good for an hour afterwards, but they're still going to be tense again because you didn't teach them how to let go of the emotional side of their muscles so that they can totally relax. The same is true for you. You can rub all you want here, but if you're tense about something and you're really anxious about really getting this to let go, you're fighting a losing battle. So when you're working on your muscles here, press just enough that you can just begin to feel the pain. Breathe out, maintain that pressure, don't get any deeper, and let the muscle relax. And you will actually feel it relax underneath your thumb here, in this particular case, on your arm. Your muscles should be very soft. And so the thing is as you do that, it actually is going to allow the arm to be free. Now when I rotate my hand, the two bones in my forearm here have the freedom to actually move. And what you'll find is, once it softens up, you can press as hard as you want and there'll be no pain. I don't care how old you are, there'll be no pain in your arm there. And then the last thing I see people do with it is the lack of intentionality. And this is true in stretching as well. I used to have a professor who would call people the Chekhov Society. And what that meant was that if you said to them, do this 10 times, they would come in and go, all right, I did it my 10 times. You've got to do it with intentionality. So you're literally taking your time and you're actually searching for spots that are sore on your arm. And as you start to do that, you're learning the landscape of your body is what you're doing. So for me in my profession, I get to see 8 or 10 people a day. So I get to see 8 or 10 sets of legs and arms and hips and so forth. So I have a good idea of the range of tightness that people have in their body. Unfortunately for most of you, you see just your body. So whatever your body feels like, that is your normal. Whether it's super hard or super soft is irrelevant. That's just your normal. So what you're doing here is you're learning a new normal as you're doing that. And you can take your time and just practice with this, because something like your forearms here, especially if you're on a keyboard or you do a lot of writing or you're doing things with your hands like throwing a baseball or whatever, the tightness in here will cause pain up in your elbow or pain down in your wrist. And as you can set, in fact, to be honest with you, I've set at stoplights and worked on mine, so you can do it anywhere, anytime, but you're just gonna take your time with it and get these muscles to soften up. So I hope this is helpful for you. Please, down below, please subscribe to this, because I know there's a lot of people who watch the videos, but they never subscribe. Keep in mind that subscribing is totally free. And if you ring the bell, then every time I come out with a new video, you'll get a notification in your inbox so that you can see the newest video as it comes out. But leave comments. Let me know what you're struggling with, because I promise you, I will reply to you. And if necessary, I'll make another video to go a little deeper on a certain topic if I see enough of you having a problem. Because the key to this is, once you understand how to do it, you will realize just how simple it is. So again, subscribe down below, ring the bell, don't forget to leave comments, and share this with anybody that you think it will help. And for now, see ya. I hope you enjoyed this last video. Be sure to click on the video here to my left and enjoy.